When would you choose a peroxide system? I know we talked about that, but just in very short terms, give me like 2 or 3 patients for whom you would definitely choose peroxide. Let's go around the table.
Okay, so I'll start 2 patients. One, somebody who I've tried on multiple or even one multi-purpose disinfecting solution where I suspect some type of sensitivity. Somebody who's coming in with excessive deposits and a known hypersensitivity to something in the environment, i.e. that allergy patient who comes in every May and September with problems or issues. Those are really 2 key patient demographics for myself, Art.
Perfect. Loretta?
Same thing, anyone that has shown any hypersensitivity to any other solutions. I also am a big user in RGP wearers and piggyback patients. I do a lot of piggybacks in mine. I do a lot of therapeutic lens fits, and peroxide, clear care in particular, being approved for both RGP and soft has been a great problem solver. Actually, that's my go-to product for ease of care and compatibility of the 2 lenses together. I find when I use an MPS and a traditional GP cleaner, there is actually a whole host of non-compatibility there. So I use it for them as well. And then anyone that I'm worried about from a hygienic standpoint, again, going to that gold standard disinfection efficacy, or if they've had an ulcer in the past, or anyone that I'm just for some reason clinically concerned about high levels of contamination.
Good point. Chris?
Once I have a patient that I believe is in a daily wear lens that they're using every single day, in all likelihood. And then I also have, and they've been wearing a multi-purpose disinfecting solution and still have some type of ocular surface effects that are symptomatic, I start to steer them to clear care. And I find it to be very successful.
Okay. When would you definitely not prescribe peroxide? When would you prescribe an MPDS like OptiFree Pure Moist?
Art, actually, OptiFree Pure Moist is my first line for patients. So I guess a better or more appropriate question for me would be, when do you prescribe clear care for your contact lens wearers? So it's OptiFree Pure Moist, usually first line for everybody, and then if there are any type of issues, then we resort to clear care.
Excellent.
The occasional wear.
Perfect. Exactly.
Occasional wear.
Occasional wear. And the reason why is buildup of potentially pathogenic bacteria in the biofilm on the case and lack of disinfection efficacy because of neutralization and having a lens soak in that. So that's a good point.
Also, I do have one more patient that I don't prescribe it for. People that travel a lot. Actually, it doesn't travel very well, I have to admit, in when they have their lenses in their case and it's not sitting upright. So we have come up with different mechanisms here, put it in this MPS for the interim, but that's just another patient population that I...
That's a great point. Do any of you use peroxide intermittently or clear care intermittently, like during seasonal allergy periods, and then go back to OptiFree Pure Moist, or do you stick with what you prescribe? Do you find it confusing to go back and forth?
I personally think it's a little bit confusing from a patient perspective. There are some patients that I have on that regimen, but most, if they are switching to peroxide, will likely stay with peroxide.
Okay. Yeah, and I see everybody nodding.